CTV military analyst and former commander of NATO forces in southern Afghanistan, retired Major General David Fraser. Major General, welcome and thank you for being here. Minister of Foreign Affairs Anita Anand says Canada has no intention of participating in Operation Epic Fury. What kind of military support do you potentially see for Canadian allies?
Well, right now, our Chief of the Defense Staff is talking to the other NATO chiefs to look at those various options. NATO has not been asked to participate in this whatsoever, so we just are sitting on the sidelines. But the question is, what can we do to support our citizens? That you mentioned at the outset of this report. How do we get them out? Those are options. There, you can look at naval and air assets to get them out of harm's way. And what could we do in the aftermath, in the reconstruction? So those are probably the two most likely courses of action, and also just defending our assets in theater.
Something that I noticed and that stood out to me is that Anita Anand said that there are 4 buses now booked. But just earlier, she had said during the same press conference that this is dangerous, getting out via ground transportation. What kind of challenges do you expect, and how dangerous could it possibly be?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. This is a dangerous situation because anything that moves over there is a target right now. So, by using local assets, they're probably in a better position of understanding what the threat levels are, and to get our people out through either air, ports or land exit routes like buses, to get them out to safer areas where, more commercial assets can, evacuate people. It's just a drop in the bucket when you think about the numbers that our Foreign Affairs Minister mentioned this morning. 3,500 Canadians. They've only got about 400, seats for those people. So they're going to have to ramp it up a lot. But using local assets is probably the best way to expedite this, because getting anything in from the outside inside, that's really hard.
Let's talk about fresh retaliatory attacks today launched by Iran. How effective has Iran's military response been so far?
It's been more effective than I think a lot of people anticipated, given the attacks that both the Israelis and the Americans have done on them. Iran still has a functioning command and control structure because it's still controlling and coordinating the attacks. The attacks are still happening. So notwithstanding all the missiles and the launchers that have been destroyed, they continue to attack with missiles, drones, and now, unfortunately, cluster bombs, which are completely indiscriminate, and in fact, we don't use them in our country because of this. So they're still being effective, and they have said that they're going after military targets in adjoining countries that are being used to attack them. So Israel and the United States still have an awful long way to go to stop this.
You bring up a good point about those cluster munitions, which experts say can be extremely dangerous to civilians after the fact. We'll have to leave it there. That is our time. Thank you very much for being here, sir.
Renee, always thank you.
All the best to you. That is Major General David Fraser, CTV military analyst.